guys, it's Ellie here, and today I'm bringing you my amazingly beautiful Week 7 battle. This layout was primarily made by Lars, Scizor, so huge shout out to him. I commissioned him and paid him a lot of money to do this. I'm being sarcastic, if you couldn't realise that. But I edited it somewhat, and now it's a thing. So if you like the layout, then subscribe, because I'm MLG. Anyway, enough shameless self-promoting. Let's get into the team. This week we're facing Juan. He has a fucking spooky team. He has a Mega Tita, and that is a problem for my team, because my team is kind of weak to Quake Edge / Dark types, and Mega Tita does those very well. So this week I'm gonna briefly just go over the team quickly. I'm bringing specially defensive Scizor with 44 in attack, Sword Stance, Bug Bite, Roost, and Bullet Punch. The reason I have 44 EVs is because if I set up, everything dies at +2 after Stealth Rocks. So that's cool. Barring physically defensive Vaporeon and obviously the Registeel. So obviously I have to whittle those down first in order to sweep and stuff. Next up we have Mamoswine, Life Orb, Dual Stab, Earthquake, Ice Shard, Ice Crash, and Substitute. His team is very weak to Mamoswine, so it's one of my win conditions this week. It's got enough speed to outspeed Tita, so I had to run Jolly, unfortunately. So it's basically max speed. And then we have Heatran, which is also specially defensive. Well, it's mixed defense, mainly Spadef though. To switch into Tornadus and Raichu. Also there for the Registeel, because Registeel is a pain in my ass. So yeah, Heatran has Taunt, Stealth Rock, Lava Plume, and Toxic. Toxic for the Vaporeon mainly, also the Tornadus, although burning it would also be nice. Taunt because his team has a lot of setup and a lot of status, and hell no, we're gonna let that happen. So I bought 2 on 2 mons this week, but I'll get to that in a minute. Max HP and then mixed defense. Next up we have Electabuzz with Substitute, Low Kick, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. Originally I was going to go with Focus Punch, but I just wasn't real enough. Low Kick was for Registeel and Tyranitar, and they still did damage, decent damage respectively. I think it's 120 base power for both mons. 240 for Tita because super effective. Wait, no, help. It's 120 base power for both mons because they're fat as fuck. But I wanted to bring Focus Punch to get damage on the Raichu because it did more than Low Kick, but I wasn't real enough, so I changed it to Low Kick. Sub is also to scout for counter Registeel. Mainly counter Shuckleberry Registeel because that's what I was most scared of on the Steel, so that's what I wanted to scout for. Enough speed to outspeed Roserade, which he didn't bring, and the rest in HP and attack. So kind of bulky Electabuzz this week, which is cool. It's holding the Eviolite just because. Next up we have Crobat, Black Sludge, max HP, enough speed to outspeed Tornadus, and the rest whacked in physical defense. Taunt, Brave Bird, Roost, and U-Turn. This is to switch into things and stuff. It can live things from Raichu, because Raichu is weak, apparently. Unless he brought like a Volt Tackle variant, I'm pretty sure that would have hurt me more than Thunderbolt. I don't know at this point. This is just from the top of my head, but Crobat was there for a pivot and also to deal damage on Tawny because I was afraid it would be Yapchi Berry. I never found out what item it was actually. I guess it was a Assault Vest, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, Taunt, Roost, U-Turn, and Brave Bird. The first week I'm not bringing hazard removal, so that's cool. And then lastly we have Mew, which is physically defensive with leftovers, and you're thinking, Ellie, what the fuck, why bring defensive Mew? Because I had to, basically. I needed to bring Storm Breaker Mew. It's also another rock setter. I decided to put Stealth Rock on it instead of Taunt because I thought 3 Stealth Rock users, 3 Taunt users was a bit overkill, so I put rocks on Mew in case, you know, it could set them up better than Heatran could. Then I have Knockoff, Roost, and then Willow. I needed Will-O-Wisp for the T-Tar, and I just couldn't, I could not speed it with Heatran, so that's why Mew is here, and it also gives me a switch into Infinite, Physical Infinite. So yeah, that's why I had to bring Defensive Mew this week. Hopefully it works out for me, but that's enough for the team. As you can see on Juan's side, he bought Mega T-Tar, Registeel, Raichu, Tornadus, Infinite, and Vaporeon. I don't know why I had a mind blank there, but yeah, that's enough of team building shenanigans. Let's just get into the battle. Alright, so he's going to be issuing a challenge. He is looking swaggy as fuck as Brendan. I don't know where I was going with that. I leave a Crobat because it matches up well against everything in his team, barring Registeel, and if he does lead with Registeel, I can taunt it. He's going to leave with Infinite and reveal he is Scarf turn 1, so that is fantastic information that I put in the back of my mind. And I'm just going to go for the Brobird because I have no reason not to. If he wants to switch into Registeel or Tyranitar, I get chip damage on it, and that's great. I kind of regret not having Heat Wave over U-turn, but that's okay. So that's going to do the square root of nothing because it's a fucking Registeel, and I'm going to be damaged by Recoil, but I get back up to full because of Black Sludge. The dimensions, by the way, are a bit off because Lars is not the greatest GFX artist, so I'm probably going to sue him for ripping me off. I'm going to go for Taunt, and he's just going to go straight for the Iron Head, which is fine. It does a decent chunk of damage. You don't really get to see that because, again, my GFX artist is a piece of shit and overcharged me for a rubbish layout. So Lars, burn in hell. I mean, no. So I'm going to switch out. For some reason I don't go for U-turn here. I think it was a misclick actually, but it's kind of nice because it means he doesn't know I have it yet. I didn't actually mean to hard switch out there. I meant to click U-turn, but I was doing this at like 3 AM in the morning because of time zones, and I was just incredibly tired. So I'm going to go for the safe, actually no, I'm going to go for Stealth Rock here, I believe, as he sends in his Vaporeon. I didn't go for Lava Plume because it was obviously switching out. So I'm going to set my rocks in there to say, because he also didn't bring any hazard removal this week. And I'm going to go for Toxic just to whittle this thing down. So that's great. Toxic on the Vaporeon is really going to help whittle it down for the Mamoswine to come in later on in the game. Sorry I burped. Professional as always. He's going to go for Scald, and that doesn't do too much damage thanks to my investment. It's a 4-hit KO after lefties, maybe a 3-hit KO, I can't really tell. And I'm going to taunt it because I don't want to go for Heal Bell or Wish. Because Vaporeon does that well, and he ends up going for Roar, which you don't see. Because again, Lars, piece of shit, fucking fix the layout, man. I'm kidding. I'm kind of not kidding because I kind of want a better resolution. So I'll have to fix that myself for next week. But yes, so I'm actually going to double to Electabuzz here on the Scald because it's not going to be doing much to me because of the Eviolite. But he's actually going to end up switching out to Tornadus, which works out great for me. That wasn't a prediction, I just thought I'd switch in to pressure him offensively. And I end up going for Ice Punch here because I thought he'd be cheeky and try and go out into Raichu. So on a Tornadus' U-turn, he's going to end up going out into his Registeel, which is not what I wanted to see, but never mind. We could have gotten a huge chunk of damage off with low kick here, but it's not the end of the world. Ice Punch again is going to do fucking nothing, as he's going to get some HP back with some lefties. Sorry, yawning, tired, I've literally just woken up. So I'm going to pop a sub to scout for either Toxic or Counter, and he just goes for his Stealth Rocks, which is fine. This thing cannot touch me unless it has Counter. It's lefty, so it's not Shocker Berry or Cobra Berry. I think it's Cobra Berry. I might be mistaken there. But Low Kick is going to be a 3-hit KO on this thing. Actually, no, 4-hit KO because he's physically defensive and I'm not adamant, fortunately. Blah, 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 blah. And he reveals Counter, which is less than ideal, to be honest. So I am forced to switch out here into, I think I go into Mew. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, so here comes Pringle. And I take this as an opportunity to go for Will-O-Wisp on this to get some residual. I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's going to go for Iron Head. Again, not doing too much damage. I can roost it off. Not too big of a problem. I really want to get rid of this thing's lefties as well, because it's going to be really freaking annoying. And at this point, I really wish I brought Taunt over Stealth Rock on my Mew, but that's okay. He's going to go for Toxic, and obviously that's not great for a wall, especially as I don't have a heal Bella this week either. So good job me for making the wrong call, ripping the finest of pepperonis. I don't even know what it was. So I missed a Will-O-Wisp there, which is really kind of annoying, but not the end of the world, because I can just go for it again next turn, or decide to go for the knockoff, which I do. I do go for the knockoff, and he's just going to go for another Iron Head. We're basically just slapping each other because we can't really do much to each other. I think next turn I go for Roost. I should probably speed this bit up, but I'm lazy, so I'm not going to. So I'm actually going to switch out here, which is interesting. I thought I roosted, but I'm going to go into Potato to threaten this thing offensively, since Mew can't do fuck all to it. As he's just going to go for Iron Head, and it's going to do nothing. Even with a crit, that would still do nothing. I don't know why I mentioned the crit. But I'm just going to go for Lava Plume here, because honestly I've got no reason not to. If he wants to bring in Vaporeon, I get chip damage on it with rocks. But he ends up going out into his Tornadus. So at this point I do think it's Assault Vest, because it took that relatively well. I don't get the burn, which is cool, but kind of not, because it would have been really handy for this, especially if it had superpower. He's going to overpredict and go for the U-turn here. I could have lived any hit as long as he didn't have HP ground, but I presumed he'd have Focus Blast or superpower for this thing, but I could have lived either of those with the investment I had. So I'm just going to go for a Lava Plume, because fuck it, YOLO. And it meant he wouldn't have been able to switch back in after rocks. No wait, he had regenerated. I am stupid. Apparently, past me was stupid. So thank you, Juan, for overpredicting that. That was kind of a misplay, but it worked out. So yeah, I'm getting chip on this Vaporeon. I'm going to taunt it again, because I still don't want it healing up. And he knows that I have taunt at this point, so he's just going to go for Scald, which is a good play. And I do switch out here, but I cannot remember what into. I think I go back into my Mew to roost up. Up. And at this point, Mamoswine is looking fine and dandy to go. We just have to get rid of that pesky Infernape in the back, which is Scarfed. So that's going to be an annoying thing to do, since I didn't bring a Scarfer this week. So I'm going to go back into my Mew, as he's going to go for the Scald. That doesn't do too much because of, I'm bulky, but it does bring me down to red, which is less than ideal. So next turn I am absolutely forced to roost. I can't remember if he stays in here or switches out. I was really scared of him switching out into Tyranitar here and going to Pursuit trap me. But he doesn't end up doing that, which is great. So he's going to withdraw and go into his Registeel. Yeah, he's going to go into his Registeel on my Roost, which is fair enough. Because I can't really touch Registeel, and I guess he wants to keep this Vaporeon around in the back. So, I'm going to go for the Roost, get back up to the green, which is good. And now I take this as an opportunity to go for the Will-O-Wisp, get some residual damage on this fucking Registeel, because I need it to die, because Mega Scizor is in the back and it can't really do anything to it. So here's the Willow. Gonna obviously cut his attack in half, which is great, which means Iron Head is going to be doing nothing. It is going to be doing less than a damage. So Mew is slowly getting worn down, which is not great. I am going to go for Roost next turn, I believe? Maybe? Yeah, I go for Roost. So I can just switch out at a reasonable amount of health and not be too concerned when I come back in. As he's going to go for another Iron Head, and it's not going to do too much damage. Getting some lefties back, and then obviously Toxic is going to take me down to around 75%. And I'm like, right, I'm not going to get any better health than I have now, so I'm just going to switch out into my Crobat because it cannot touch it. Its moves cannot touch me. I resist Iron. I don't resist Iron Head, but he's burned. And Counter would not have hit me, as you can see there. So I'm just going to go for Roost here because I've got no reason not to. And if he switches out into something else, I'll be at full to take whatever hit I want to. And he ends up going out to Raichu, which is great because I'll get to get chip damage on it with Brave Bird or U-turn, whatever I choose to do. So I'm just going to go for the Roost and get myself back up to full. Now bear in mind I have enough speed to outspeed this Raichu. I just go for the U-turn, expecting to outspeed, but he carries the extreme speed, so not even bad. Probably hoping to pick up something on low amount of health. So I'm just going to go for the U-turn, get some chip damage on this, and he's around half at this point. I'm going to go into Mega Scizor because it can take any hit from this thing. Because I am specially defensive as hell. So yeah, and it has really good natural physical defense bulk. So I'm gonna Mega Evolve and go for the Bullet Punch. Hindsight, I probably should have gone for Bug Bite because Bullet Punch would not kill, but I get a crit, so that's cool. Really, I'm kind of unfortunate for Juan, but in the long run, it doesn't really matter. It would have affected differential if he had something like Fire Punch, I suppose. But now he can threaten me out with Infinite, and at this point, I'm going to sack my Heatran. If he does end up going for Flare Blitz, that's great. But I either predicted Stone Edge or Close Combat here, and he does go for Close Combat, which is fine. Good play by Juan. Not letting that Heatran come in for free, so he's gonna kill my Heatran, which is fine. It's done its job. It's done some incredible. Whoa! Where did my layout go there? Sorry, I was. Don't worry, it'll be fixed. Rambling. So I'm gonna go into Crobat because I know it's Traced and I quad resist that Close Combat. So I'm just gonna go for Brave Bird because again, I have no reason not to. Or maybe I go for Roost. I can't even remember. No, I go for Roost. I'm stupid. Ignore me. So I'm gonna go for Roost, get back up to full, and then I can Brave Bird this. So Crobat is putting in a phenomenal amount of work for me right now. As it's going to bring this Tornadus down to the red. Not quite taking it out because it has got some investment in HP, I'm guessing. And he's just going to U-turn out straight back into Infinite, and I can live a Stone Edge. So I do decide to stay in. But because of what work Heatran has put in, it means Mamoswine is looking really, really good for me right now. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I am gonna go for the Brave Bird, stay in, take the Stone Edge like a fucking champ because Crobat is a bae. I love you, Crobat, you sexy motherfucker. So Brave Bird is going to obliterate 50 kinds of Infinapes at that point. And it's going to die, which is great. And I just hang on with recoil, so that's also nice. And here he takes this as an opportunity to go into his Mega Tyranitar and go for his Mega Evolution. And that is scary because Mega T-Tar really fucks me up. So I end up staying in here. There's no point switching out because of rocks and differential and stuff like that. I'm yawning, I'm sorry. But I'm gonna go for Taunt. Because I didn't want to set him up, I had to go for Taunt, because if he went for Dragon Dance there, I probably would have lost, because it could live a Bullet Punch from Tyranitar, from Scizor. I wouldn't have lost, but I would have been in trouble. Now I can come in with Mamoswine and just clean up, because his Infinite is now gone, and he has nothing for Mamoswine. So T-Tar is going to die to a critical hit, which is unfortunate because it was a roll and the roll was in Juan's favour. Again, it didn't really matter because I could have just come in with either Mega Scizor or Electabuzz and cleaned up respectively. It just would have affected differential. But at this point, Mamoswine is just going to clean up the game, picking up 4 kills. So, good fucking job, Mamoswine. I'm glad I drafted this thing. This thing is a beast. And I'm gonna go for the Ice Shard. Maybe he went into this thinking I didn't have it, but I did. I do. And that's gonna die. So, ripping the finest of kills, bub. And then all he has left is his Registeel. So he sends that in, and I'm going to pick it up with an earthquake, and that will take the game. So, because of this Mammoth Wine, we came away with a 4-0 victory, with a couple crits. It's kind of unfortunate because, again, it affected Juan's differential, but I still would have won the game either way, just with less kills. But anyway, enough rambling. Next week, we are facing Old Man Tup, which is going to be exciting. Tup's a good friend of mine, and he has a really fucking bulky team. He replaced Chaos in the Sky as he had to leave D2 for personal reasons, which is unfortunate. I was really looking forward to battling Sky because he always shit talks. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's battle. If you did like the layout, go check out Scizor, El Scizor, Lars, whatever the fuck you want to call him. He's a majestic Mexican man, and I love him very much. I don't know. His links will be in the description, as well as Juan's and the PPL, if I remember to put the PPL link in there, because I always forget. I'm back on Twitter! Yes. So my links to that will be down in the description, so go follow me. It's nice to be back, guys, it really is. But anyway, that's enough talking. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace the mother truck out. That was a weird outro.